Welcome back to another edition of Karting Chronicles. I'm Jesse Parton, your host. Today we've gone back to school. Today we're at Jerry Henderson's karting class at California Speedway. And if you're interested in getting into karting, great first step. Great first step. Go back to school. Jerry here is very hands-on. He tutors you on all aspects of performance karting, and you will have a blast. At the end of the show, I'll have a phone number for you so you can get a hold of Jerry. Thanks for coming out. We got to go back to school.
You know, for 25 years I've been fully sponsored and travel all over the world. And the best drivers, as you know, come out of karts, and Michael Schumacher and stuff. And what I always tell everybody, the reason that they become so good in karts, like the worst thing you can do is buy a shifter. Because that just adds for mistakes. It's just like a Band-Aid for bad driving. You make a mistake, you grab a gear, and you go, right? And you think that you're doing it right. Yeah. Well, you drive against a guy who doesn't make mistakes and is smooth like myself, and I grab the gear, I'm gone because I keep the thing up on the RPM and it goes. What happens, a lot of people, they want that glamour, the gearbox and all that. Well, you know, it's fine then, but there's too much stuff to think about. Yeah. Besides worrying about shifting when you first start. After a year or two and you get smooth, getting back to Michael Schumacher, those guys all race down there with no clutch.
Direct drive.
Direct drive. Yeah. Nothing better than that. That teaches you, because you got to be smooth there. Australia, all direct drive. I was down there, I won in 2000 down there in their state championship, they call it state titles down there, and they had 32 cars in the field, Yamaha, right? All direct drive, from first to 32nd, less than a second. That's how tight the racing is. You make one mistake, you go from first to 10th. It's nose to tail forever. It's great. We have an awesome racetrack called Oran Park. It's Australia, man, it's a whole other country. Go down there and win that thing twice. I've been to Texas, New York, and won races on other people's racetracks. When I get to a racetrack, the first thing I do is I go find the last corner before the longest straightaway, and that's the one I work on first. When I get that one done, then I'll worry about the rest of them, because that's where most of the passing is going to get done. So I concentrate to make sure that I get through this corner properly, get the RPMs up, get the car turned right, so I can get the car to fly out on exit, okay? So, that being said, right here, if you come all the way out here, you have a short distance to get back to make sure you get the car right to come out of there. So I'd rather sacrifice a little here. I might scrub myself a 10th here to make sure that I get that car right here, because that's a half a second I'm making up on people right here. So if I sacrifice a 10th here and I pick up a half second here, that's 4/10 ahead of you driving your way compared to my way. One of the things I teach people about is exit speed. That's the most important thing. Most people overdrive on entrance. We'll use blue, we use red for the wrong. And we're coming down here like this, and they'll overdrive on entrance, and they won't get the car turned. I'm going to do it right first, and then I'll show you what happens. Most guys will overdrive on entrance, come in here, they'll either do this, they'll either turn in early and end up like this. And here's a big difference. Even if it's a foot or two on entrance, 1 foot on entrance is 2 feet on exit, okay? So we want to make sure that when you enter here, that you got the car properly turned, rotated, apex, whichever way you want to call it, get the car turned, rotated, so it's pointing in the right direction. So when you pick the throttle up, you get the RPM up. For years, everybody says, Henderson, you got the best motor, you got horsepower, that's how you beat me. You passed me down the straightaway. I passed you right here. It showed up down here. Because I picked the throttle up earlier than you did, because I had the car slow down and turn and point in the right way. What happens, most people, they'll be here and they're trying to get on the throttle here, but look, now they got to put a lot of input in the steering to get the car to go, right? Okay, any of you, either one of you, you have a kart, so you don't have a kart, correct? Been in a go-kart without the motor running, nothing, and you push it, and you turn the wheel, and what's it do?
It stops.
It stops.
It stops.
So when you turn the wheel, what are you doing? putting the
Just
brakes
slow it
on.
down.
Just slowing it down.
Scrub it
Okay,
up.
so now when we come around this corner, what are we doing when we're turning around this corner?
Slow it down.
We're slowing down with the steering, right?
Inevitably.
Okay, so here's another mistake most people do. They'll come out here like this, they'll come in here like this, and they'll go like that. What's wrong with that? Well, they just added distance to the track when they're slowing it down with the steering. If we're going to slow it down with the steering, let's not add distance to the track. Because if you add 2 more feet times, 300 foot here, that's 600 foot more of racetrack you're traveling on than I am. Have at it. I've gone really close to this, right here, all the way. The proper line is really, really close to this barrier right here. Come in here like this. We're going to come right in here like this. And we go like